Hey everybody, Graz here from the GKBC. I'm all by myself tonight. I have some sleeping animals around. I know my house is really dirty. But I'm all by myself. I'm playing Raid on 2 tablets. And I'm going to do Murder Falcon, the final 2 issues and bonus story. This is part of the MARVEL-ous team up with Tad at Tad Reads Books and Stuff and Jay at Faceless Book Reviews. Both channels will be linked below. Please go check them out. I personally believe that both of their takes on the graphic novels are better than mine. So go check them out, please. Anyway, we're gonna do the final 2 issues. Let me see here. Dun, 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 dun. It would be 7 and 8. Last we saw, we had this dude saying, "I want to help." Great opening shot there of Murph holding the Japanese flag on a pile of dead beasties. We start off this by learning about the start of the Veldar and how Magnum Chaos began and blah, blah, blah. And we find out how awesome the violinist is and that there's a ton of them out here from the orchestra and they all know who Bruticus is. And then there's these 2 who are just a general, and she's got some sort of a instrument I'll show you in a little bit. We learn that Jake is really hurt and that Magnum Chaos has always been in his head, and they're going to the hospital and they're trying to fix the guitar, and this dude in the wheelchair can fix the guitar, but everybody else has to try and fight this big thing to give Bruticus their chance, and they're just getting owned. And then here's this girl, Kitori, and I don't even know what that is, but she's awesome with it, and it brings forth all these like phantom guns and stuff. And then, oh boy, wait a minute, the orchestra is here, and we've even got a dude with a triangle. I mean, are you kidding me? This dude's got a rattle down here, and this guy's got a triangle. It's so cool. But I missed my favorite thing here. When this big beastie shows up, all of the fantastic artwork in here, all of the great verbiage, however you want to say it, and this big, almost end-of-level boss just goes, roar. Okay, now back to Triangle Guy. They're doing their thing, and they're trying, and here comes this great big dude with a sword, and he's just putting his effort in, and then Anne starts singing the love song to Jake, and he stands up and he's like, "No, you're not gonna beat me, because I'm gonna live with what little life I have left." And Magnum Chaos is not pleased, and they make out, and then it's time for Murder Falcon and Jake to go because this dude has fixed the guitar. And it's time to jam, because the big beastie has kind of almost destroyed the giant samurai. And oh no. And here's Jake and Bruticus. And Jake shows us that his marvelous, pun intended for the MARVEL-ous team up, head of hair is a wig, because he is a chemo patient. And he's just like, okay, let's rock. And and here they go, and Murph grabs the giant sword and he messes up the big beastie, and boom, let's go. Bruticus and their few helpers are ready to rock. I mean, is there a cooler moment than this one right here? Jake in his wheelchair, his band behind him, he's still got an IV, and then Murph with this giant sword. And that's issue 7. Issue 8 is basically, let's go formulate. We're going to help you with your amplification. And they're beating up the wall, and here comes the army with all their speakers and everything else, and they're killing it, killing it, killing it. But the cool part in this is right down here, you see Magnum Chaos standing on the Horn of the Dead, and he says, if it focuses, it won't. So, the humans have decided on a last stand. Very well. And he just and so they start fighting, and then Jake says his goodbye to Anne. He's like, I will come back, I promise. And him and Murph go, and they unlock the Horn of the Dead. And Jake is like, oh, there it is, let's go. But wait, Magnum Chaos is like, aha, you fools. And then him and Murph have a wicked fight. I mean, look at this, he's beaten in his eyeball. That's pretty cool, and Jake has to try and climb all these stairs as a cancer patient who has struggled. Meanwhile, Bruticus is out here doing their thing, and here's Jake at the top of the stairs. And Murph has been, even though he thought he was winning, he's not. Magnum Chaos has him, and Jake is up there, and Magnum Chaos says, I have won, and Jake says, almost. And then realizes, oh wait, oh no, and they had created a bomb that blew Magnum Chaos away to give Jake a chance to blow on the Horn of the Dead. Now, we find out that the Horn of the Dead does not bring back to life all the dead warriors. It brings together all of the warriors facing death, which is really cool. And what I liked was the first song that Jake hears when he does all this is Hey Jude. So, Beatles forever. And then all these other dudes and ladies are, I mean, look at this right here, We Will Overcome, and just good stuff. And this dude right down here is just like, looks like he's blowing a recorder, And I'm just singing to sing, and they're all destined to die, but they have a voice. Boom. Rumble, rumble. Magnum Chaos realizes what's happening. Here comes this giant hammer. He's standing on an anvil, and squish. Game over. The tear is gone. All the people with the things on their heads are waking up. Here's Nate. They win. Murph says, we did it, Jake. Oh no. And Jake has died. And he says, can I say goodbye? And the guy says, of course. And he says, will they hear me? Only in their dreams. And he says goodbye to each person, including Anne. Then he goes to say goodbye to Murph. And it's funny because I'm coming with you. And he scares the crap out of him because he thought he was one of the ones that couldn't hear him. But Murph goes with him. And it ends with, adventures like you wouldn't believe. Or heavy metal like you wouldn't believe by Jake. But that's not all, because we have Those Days, which is basically a quick retelling of Bruticus coming back together and fighting the beasties with Murph and everything. But my favorite part of this is they find this den of beasties under this guitar shop, and this poor dude that owns it, he goes down to the beasties, but look at this great thing. Aye! All right, well, somebody else is going to have to sell your guitars now. And then boom, 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 and then they fight we found the drum set, and yada, yada, and it's basically, they fight Magnum Chaos, and they fight the beasties off, and that's basically Johann saying that's what happened in those days. And then they go, what would Jake want us to be doing right now? And they're like, clink, clink, snap, clink, clink, clink. Yeah, Bruticus! With all the people watching him. Fantastic ending. And then the sketchbook. Fantastic. Now, we had thought that maybe some of this stuff was in Jake's head, and obviously some of it was. Like, Magnum Chaos was always in his head. And he was using that pain and that hate and that fear to take over the world. So that was kind of cool. Rest in rock, Jake. Metal it up for us on the other side. Make it all ready for us. This has been Murder Falcon. I think I haven't watched Tad's video yet. We kind of mentioned it a little. I think we're going to read Preacher next. I guess we'll be talking about that in a little bit. Sorry, let me just not show you my crotch. Sorry, everybody. I'm canceled now. This was Murder Falcon by Daniel Warren Johnson and Mike Spicer. Great book. Loved it. I really love the Marvel-ous team up because you could read a graphic novel like this in like a half hour, you know, and you would miss so many nuances because you'd just be like, okay, I'm done. Let's move on to the next thing. But reading it 2 issues at a time every other week gives you a chance to really, really, really dig in deep and get everything and digest it, and it's fantastic. I love this. But anyway, that was Murder Falcon. Again, go check out my 2 co-conspirators channels for a much better review than mine. And I guess, you know, every one of us brings a little something different to the table. So hopefully I bring something unique that people like. And I will see you next time, probably with Preacher. I'll probably do another like update video that tells what we're going to do next. And obviously I've got some more ups and downs coming. I've got a neat video that I'm just waiting for the weather to be right for. And I will see you all next time. And until then, read more.